In this video, we're going to gain a better understanding of effective budgeting. What is budgeting? Recall that management has three broad functions: planning, controlling, and decision-making. Planning is when management sets goals for the organization, both short-term and long-term. It also determines how those goals will be achieved. Planning is all about looking into the future. Controlling is when management compares the outcomes of their plans and uses that feedback to determine how to move forward. Controlling is all about looking backwards, figuring out what happened, and comparing it against the plan to see if it worked. This information can then be used to make adjustments moving forward, looking forward once more. And finally, decision-making is the use of accounting information to choose between alternatives, which is closely connected to planning. It's clear that budgeting is part of the planning and controlling for every organization. The budget is a formal plan, in financial terms, covering a period of time in the future. For example, a budget may be an upcoming month, quarter, half year, or even longer, such as 3 to 5 years. But the most common budget is a 1-year budget. The budget is the main method upper management uses to communicate the goals of the organization to the organization. In addition, budgeting is part of controlling. Actual results are compared to the budget to evaluate the performance of both management and employees. This provides evidence that both management and employees are moving towards the organization's goals. The goal of the budget is therefore to ensure that management and employees focus on efficiency and ensure waste is minimized. This understanding of what budgeting is helps us to understand the benefits of budgeting. First and foremost is that budgeting requires the organization to plan ahead, to formalize their goals so that they can be communicated to everyone in the organization. Second, budgeting improves decision-making. For example, budgets can be developed for different outcomes, such as an increase in sales of 5, 10, 15, or 20%, or an increase in raw material costs of any variety. This ability to use the budget to predict different outcomes allows management to make better decisions if the organization's situation changes. Third is that it provides a method of evaluating the performance of both management and employee. By having a formalized plan for the future, it can be used against actual results to determine if the organization is achieving their goals. It can be used to determine if the organization has met their targets for such things as sales revenue, production costs, selling and administrative costs, and operating income. Because the budget provides a plan against which to measure actual outcomes, it can be used as an early warning system. If actuals are not in line with the budget, then management can act proactively to change moving forward. In a large organization, the budget can be used to integrate the many different divisions within the organization, ensuring they all work towards the same goal. It can be used to communicate the plan and motivate management and employees to meet the organization's goals. You can see that budgeting is an important tool for businesses. It should also be noted that budgeting should be used in every organization, regardless of their size. So what is included in a budget? First, let's be clear that we are going to cover a budget for a manufacturing organization. Budgets for retailers or service organizations have some similarities, but also differences. So we'll start with budgeting for manufacturing. A budget is actually a series of interrelated schedules which, combined, provides a comprehensive plan of action for a specific period of time. As noted before, most likely 1 year. This is called a master budget, also sometimes called a static budget. But what is included in a master budget? The master budget includes the operating budgets, schedules which describe the income-generating activities of the organization, all the way to the budgeted income statement. The master budget then uses the information from the operating budgets to create financial budgets, budgets which determine how cash will flow in and out of the organization. This information is then used to prepare the budgeted balance sheet. Let's look at the individual schedules that make up the master budget and how they are interrelated. They take up a lot of space, so I'm going to use the whole slide. First, we produce the sales budget, which determines the units an organization is expected to sell, as well as the sales revenue generated from those units. The information from the sales budget is used to produce the production budget. This budget determines the number of units that need to be produced in order to ensure that there is inventory on hand at all times to meet sales needs. The information from the production budget is then used to produce three budgets. First is the direct materials budget, also called a raw materials budget. This budget tells purchasing the quantity and targeted price for all the raw materials required to meet production's needs. The production budget is also used to produce the direct labor budget. This budget tells human resources and production how many employees need to be hired and what it will cost in wages. Finally, the production budget is used to develop the manufacturing overhead budget. This budget determines the variable and fixed overhead costs that can be expected given the level of production planned. You can see that these three budgets, which stem from the production budget, cover all the manufacturing costs to produce a product: direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Once this information is available, the organization can calculate the per unit cost of inventory using the ending finished goods inventory budget. This budget provides information necessary to calculate the ending inventory, but with the per unit cost, we can also now calculate the cost of goods sold, which is why the next budget is the cost of goods sold budget. Using the per unit cost of inventory calculated in the ending finished goods inventory budget, the organization can use the same per unit cost of inventory to calculate the cost of all the units that are expected to be sold. The cost of goods sold determined in this budget will be used on the budgeted income statement, but only after a budget is developed for period costs. This is the selling and administrative expenses budget, also called the sales and administrative expenses budget. Sometimes it's also called operating expenses budget. This covers all of the period costs, such as sales commission, rent, head office salaries, advertising, shipping, and so many more. Any and all period costs are included in the selling and administrative expense budget. These are all then used to produce the budgeted income statement. The budgeted income statement tells the organization what they can expect to earn in operating income over the upcoming period. This budget is critical for evaluating whether or not the organization has achieved their profitability goals. Although the budgeted income statement is important to develop with regards to predicting profitability, organizations also need to control cash, which is why the first financial budget is the cash budget. This budget shows the expected cash inflows and outflows in the organization and is considered the most important financial budget because no organization can continue if they don't have enough cash to meet their obligations as they come due. The cash budget is produced this late in the budgeting process because it uses the information from other budgets to determine both the inflows and outflows of cash. This includes the sales budget, direct material purchases budget, direct labor budget, manufacturing overhead budget, the selling and admin budget, and the capital budget. But what is a capital budget? It's a budget which shows expected long-term investments in things such as property, plant, equipment, and intangibles. It feeds into the cash budget because these expected purchases will involve cash outflows. We can now finally produce the budgeted balance sheet, which shows what the organization projects with regards to their financial position at the end of the budgeting period. Information from other budgets is again used to produce the budgeted balance sheet, which is why it is one of the last in the budgeting process. It is these interrelated budgeting schedules that make up the master budget. As always, the best way to demonstrate a concept is to walk through an example, so we'll use Gratman Manufacturing's master budgeting process in our upcoming series of videos. As always, thanks so much for watching.